good, everybody? Welcome back to Universal Teas. It's the People's Podcast with your girl Toya, and this is another episode of the In Your Space series. I am here with Ro, the owner of StylePop Cafe, and I'll let her introduce herself. So, Ro, tell us who you are and where we are and how we got here a little bit.
For sure. So who am I? I think that's a question that I'm still, or answer that I'm still navigating. But I'm the owner of StylePop Cafe. Born and raised here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Went to school here, went to college here, ventured off a little bit, went to Virginia State. But yeah, I guess that's who I am.
That's a good start, right? And so in this series, we're kind of exploring people who have these businesses, right? And so I'll give you a little bit of like the background of why I wanted to do this series. I feel like a lot of podcasts and like what we see on media is people who are established and we're just praising them for being established. But like me, being the person that I am, I always want to know like who you were, how did you get there? And as a person who, if I'm being transparent, is looking to establish and kind of navigate what I want to do and what I've been called to do, but having fears. It's always like, so how did you get over that part? So we're going to get into questions and just let you kind of express like what you've had to navigate on the journey to StylePop. We kind of talked about it a little bit before, but I want everybody to get it. So the first question is, what did life look like for you before you even had the vision of StylePop?
For sure. So before StylePop, there was a Style Hub, and Style Hub was essentially a StylePop, but didn't include coffee.
Okay.
So it was a space for people in the creative world, people who were in fitness, health, beauty, wellness, to be able to utilize spaces to rent, and just do their craft in those spaces. But it started online, so there was an online booking app. But eventually, I wanted to actually create a physical space that also had a coffee shop in it, and it was called StylePop.
I love that.
So that's what I was doing before that. Also, I was a field marketing manager and interim engagement manager for the county parks.
Okay.
So I worked there for a long time, and my background has just always been in marketing and event planning.
Okay, so marketing, event planning, style. I'm getting how everything is coming together. So where did like the coffee come into play?
It was a hobby for me.
Okay.
Going to different coffee shops, trying different coffee, just being in the space and taking it in was a thing for me. So on the weekends, me and my dog, we would go to coffee shops. Me and Carlos, we'd have meetings at coffee shops. Like, that was just my place to be. It's like when people go to the bars. Mine was a coffee shop. Yep.
That makes sense. And so then, like, when you think about coffee, like, some people are really big, like, coffee connoisseurs. And so then, did you have, like, that expertise? Like, when you were going to these coffee shops, were you, like, critiquing? So that now you're like, okay, this is the type of coffee I need to have in my shop. Like, what was that experience like?
No, I wasn't doing that. It was like, what's the vibe like? What's the space like for me? And then that determined whether I wanted to stay and hang out for a bit. But I was like, give me a cup of coffee with some coffee creamer, and I found out that was a cafe au lait. So then I started steaming. I got a little fancy. Like, the fancier I got, the fanciest I've gotten was a latte at that time. Now, though, having a coffee shop and actually selling like traditional coffee, I've gotten way more involved.
And so then when we think about like the business, because we're always consumers before we're like business owners, right? That's the natural way that it happens. So what did you have to maybe learn or unlearn in order to say like, no, I'm actually going to open a coffee shop. It's not going to just be a hobby. Like, I've had enough experiences to where I know what I want my space to feel like. And it feels amazing to hear y'all. StylePop is definitely the vibe that she was talking about. So like, how did you have to shift your mind is the question I'm asking, to kind of step into like, I'm going to do my own thing.
Well, I started off as just a coffee brand, so it was learning like the different taste notes and stuff behind coffee, and then also learning what pairs with coffee. So in a sense, I had to become like a cook in a way. I don't think people make the connection between making a good coffee drink and making good food. They're also like one and the same. So I feel like in that moment I had become a chef in a way. To really appreciate the taste of different coffees. So that was one. And then the business side of it was I had to learn how to not be so nice. You cannot be nice in a way when you're starting a business because, you know, people just walk all over you and just do all type of things. So that was like the other thing, learning how to be a real boss for real.
Okay, and so like learning to not be nice. Roll outside of business, did you struggle with anything like people pleasing or, you know, trying to make everyone happy? So that is that what made that a struggle when you like shifted to business?
Yeah, and like I've never been a micromanager, but when it came to like building out this space and working with masculine people, you had to like really use your voice. Because there were times it took a year and a half for this space to get built out, and partly of that was because people wanted to do what the fuck they wanted to do. And it was just like I had to be like, no, I need this done at this time, and you need to move a little faster. So it was like, it was that for sure.
How much of a struggle was that for you? Like as far as the people who were helping you build out the space, like the relationships that you had with them, were there any instances where you maybe got like frozen or you lost the relationship or you had to repair relationships because you were so adamant about making your vision come to life that you kind of had to use your voice more than people were probably used to?
I think it helped because I didn't know these people.
Okay.
You know, like they were contractors, so I could be a little bit more like stern, you know, and not really care about what that looked like. Except for one relationship, like he and I were super cool, and I thought he was gonna do X, Y, and Z, and then it just never happened, and then our relationship kind of suffered from it. But you still cool. It's fine. No worries.
Right.
But so I think that was like the only relationship that I had to repair. Outside of that, like family and friends have always been like super supportive and making sure like this stays afloat and things come to life here. So
absolutely. And so I think I remember us having a conversation about like during the pandemic, you were kind of like thinking through this space, or was that the online period? So how were you able to like sustain your vision during that?
Yes. So luckily we did start off online. So it was like a lot of online ordering of the coffee brand itself and the coffee creamer. Outside of Milwaukee, the county at least, the rest of the world was functioning as normal. So we were able to like just pop up at different events and stuff and sustain that way. And then when Milwaukee opened up, I was able to go to more events and pop up and really push the brand there. So my journey really started social media, doing all the trends. Becoming
the marketing is A1 at StylePop. I just want to name that.
Thank you. So like doing all the trends, fucking going to all these events, just like constantly just in people's face. And being consistent too with branding, because that's also very important.
That's my struggle. I'm learning.
It's okay. Whatever you need, let me know.
She helps me a lot too when I'm in the space because
yes. So yeah, I think if I'm answering your question, I'm really bad at like full circle. But
it is okay. So am I. That's why I told her before we started, like, you might see me writing because I have to remember what I wanted to follow up on. But
that's how I sustained.
Okay.
Basically a lot of events.
During the pandemic. And so like thinking about this space, you curated in a way that is authentic to you. So like when people come into the space, what is it that you want them to feel?
I want them to find their place here, and that's our slogan.
Okay.
For StylePop Cafe.
Yeah.
Coffee brand is what makes you pop. But for the space, I want people to find their space here because I felt that in other coffee shops. So like, I wasn't just going there for the coffee. It was more so like how it made me feel.
Right.
Was I able to, be productive in the space? Was my creative juices flowing in the space? Was it a space to be social in?
Yeah.
Could I bring my dog there? So just finding comfort, finding a space to just be in, maybe find yourself over a cup of coffee.
Yeah, and I feel like that happens here. And so when I think about the space and I think about like who you had to become, like you talked about the fear of using your voice, and you kind of talked about getting over that imposter syndrome. Being in this business, what is one of the most like humbling lessons that you've had to learn, or that you could still be learning in order to kind of keep seeing that vision through?
There's a story behind this wicker chair over here. Y'all can't see it, but
it's like the Black Panther chair, the one that your mama and your auntie put that prom picture in. My mama had one in the house.
The
Fred Hampton with the two. That one. Yep.
So the story behind this chair is I bought it from a lady in Green Bay, and her dad, she was trying to get a tattoo of this saying that her dad always says, and the saying is, the reward is in the journey.
Yes.
And so I feel like that is like the most humbling thing for me, is just knowing that as this continues to grow, you will be rewarded. I mean, things will happen, but like good things will happen also while you're on your way to where you're going. So, yeah.
Yeah. And so in that, like, I love that quote. What are some of the rewards that you've had to uncover through the journey?
Ooh. That's a good one.
Take your time.
That I really can build community, and people have found community in this space, and that's rewarding for me to see that people genuinely come together here.
Yeah.
Another reward I would say is the actual rewards that I've gotten so far, which is cool.
Because my girl been getting her shine. I just try to know.
Yeah, being recognized. I've never been recognized in that way. I've always been like in the background helping people out. So just knowing that like my efforts are recognized and people find them of value. And the other reward is actually getting this motherfucker open and people coming in here. Like that is a huge plus for me, because it was not easy getting here. So
yeah. And so even this isn't a question, but I guess it's more so like giving you flowers, because I was invited into the space for this platform, and you probably don't know this, but it's just been a very tricky time in Universal Teas for me, right? Being a platform that is very vocal and for people, when you're kind of like navigating, restructuring your whole life and who you are, I've kind of stepped away from it. And so I think you commented on something that I posted. And I think it's like a first thing that I posted about Universal Teas in a while, because I kind of removed myself from it. And you were like, you should do a podcast at StylePop. And I was like, okay, you see me? Like, I felt like Universal Teas wasn't as big because I stepped away. And so it's really a thank you, because you are genuinely like living that out. And I feel like this is a space that I can come to and be a part of and be in community with. And even now they're setting up for a community event. So that just goes to show that we all can have these slogans, and in a space in a day and age where everything is aesthetic and for social media and everything is just marketing, it's beautiful to be able to connect with someone who is marketing from their soul and like what they actually believe in, versus just wanting people to come in and spend money. So I really appreciate that. And so what would you give as advice to someone who is sitting on like the edge of a vision that they have, or a dream, or an idea that they know and they've seen live out? And I think my last podcast here, I talk about like when God FaceTimes you with a vision. Like, what would you say to that person that is afraid to take that step?
Oh, that's afraid to take that step. Honestly, if you don't do it, it won't get done. Like, so you just have to do it. And mentorship is very important. I feel like that's something that I wasn't able to gain in going about this journey. But I feel like connecting with people who have done the things, and authentic people too, because you can feel that when they're not. But yeah, mentorship is super important. So those would be my recommendations. Just do it, and then also seek people who have done the things.
I love that. And so then one of the last questions, I don't know if it's going to be the last question. Depends on how you answer. So who or what did you have to learn to trust in order to live this vision that is StylePop out?
Myself. Definitely me. Because there were moments where I was just like, I don't know if I should be doing this because this shit is way too hard.
Yeah.
And I just had to know, like, I wouldn't be doing anything else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
So I had to trust that I was given this vision to make it come to light. So
yeah. And I think that is what a lot of people struggle with, is finding that thing that is like, if I could just do this, I would be fine not doing anything else. And so trusting that even when like it doesn't make sense to other people, even when maybe your finances don't match up to it, but knowing like, I know if I go, listen.
Because they did it.
Push through, guys.
Yes.
Trust the vision, not the bank account sometimes. But finding that thing, and I think that's what a lot of people, myself included, are learning how to navigate, is like trusting that, right? I think some of us get so used to the system. And I'm realizing now at 32 that I think the system played me. And what I mean by that is I was a great student. Like I got the good grades in school. You know, I was an honor student. I went to college. I got a master's. And now I'm in this space where it's like, but I've abandoned my creative stuff. Like I'm perfect for the system, but now I don't want to operate in the system, and I'm having to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
And so I think it's beautiful, and that's why I wanted to create this series, because a lot of people who I talk to, we done been to college, we done did the school, like we did all of that, but it takes a different type of person to step outside the system.
Yeah.
And so what I will ask last is, what would you tell folks about like who you've become, and like how proud of yourself are you for being able to step outside of that system?
Hold on. Say that the question again.
So it's like, what would you tell folks about you, and like how proud you are of yourself for stepping outside of that system that we kind of talked about? Like, how do you feel about yourself, being that you gave us this vision tangibly that is StylePop Cafe?
Oh, that's a really hard question. How do I feel?
Yeah.
You know what? I feel proud. Like,
I'm proud of you too.
You know, like there isn't really a grand word that I can describe outside of just feeling proud of myself for not giving up, and for also using my voice, because that has been a struggle for me, like damn near all my life. And like now that I have that and I'm able to like articulate how I feel and what I want to say, I'm really proud of that.
Okay. And I'm proud of you too.
Thank you.
And I really thank you for being open to being a part of this series. You're one of the first people I thought of, and I am so glad and grateful that you lived your vision out.
Yes.
Because I benefit from it, and I know that a lot of other people also benefit from you, you know, giving us this vision. So thank you for not being stingy with your gift and your calling. With that being said, thank you all for joining us on this episode of the In Your Space series with the owner of StylePop Cafe, Ro. And maybe we can get a little look around at the cafe.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
Come
I love y'all.
too.
Come in. Come in. I got my iced coffee. You know what I'm saying? I usually get lemonade, but I was tired today, so I needed this. But thank you. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Bye.
Oh, that was great.
That was great.